Thanks for tuning into my channel. If you want to know how I achieve this look, just sit back and watch this tutorial. I'm not a makeup artist. I took a couple of classes and I'm learning off YouTube University just like everybody else. I do have hooded eyes, so that make it a little bit more harder. And I'm mature skin. I'm almost 50. Yes, black don't crack, but I'm almost 50. But yeah, so just come on back and sit down and let's get this tutorial. So as you see, I'm doing my brows, but my brows are already done because I'm a beginner, so it's taking a little long. So I did one eye. Now I'm doing the other eye. So right now I'm using the Juvia's Paste palette, the Warrior palette. I'm using a dark brown. Just blend. Right here, I'm just smoothing out the brown, just smoothing out the edges and just putting it all over my eyes, just making sure that everything is captured. Right here, I am putting on the eyeshadow primer. As you see, I'm doing a half cut crease and I have hooded eyes. So in order for my eye primer to reach up at the top, I got to blink and then look up and then move my eye to the left and right. So that way I'll know where the eyeshadow need to go so it'll still be seen when my eyes are open. Because like I said, if you got hooded eyes, if I put it right over on the lid and then when I'm done, you won't be able to see it. So that's why I gotta bring it slightly above the crease to so it'll be seen. So that's why I'm making like a half moon shape on one of my eyes. And now I'm just blending out the edges so it'll have a seamless fit. So now I'm taking that brush and just blending the brown inside. Now I have a gold shimmery color, and the gold, I'm just filling in the half moon until it's completely filled. Um, that's another color out of the Warrior palette. Um, I'm just smoothing it out, trying to get the edges all blended together. So now I'm taking that same brush I was using and just blending the gold and the brown together to make it have a seamless finish. Again, I'm just doing the edges, just making sure it's smoothed out because the name of makeup is blend to the gods. So right now I'm just getting ready to prep my eyes for my lashes. So I'm just using the, I can't think what product that is. I'll tag it in it's the NYX Inkjet mascara, liquid mascara. Once you put that on, it never goes off. It's pretty much like a tattoo. That's how good it is, and it's waterproof. That's why I love it. Um, so as you see, I got my lashes on. Now I'm getting ready to do my skin prep. I just normally put vitamin C on. As you see, my eyes are kind of puffy. I stayed up too late last night, so I'm just really doing a deep skin prep. So I'm just patting that puffiness off my eye. And I'm using, like I said, the vitamin C skin prep. That's what I'm looking for. Like, where is it? There it go, right there. Then I use a hydrocoloric serum and with retinol, and that'll help deflate that puffiness. And so I'm just gonna rub it in, let it sit for a second, and use my finger. I use my pinky to tap it in, and it's make sure it's all blended in. Make sure everything is blended in. I keep tapping to make sure to try to deflate that eye because yeah, when you old, you can't stay up and hang like you used to. It will show. Who can't do up all nighter, and that's just some collagen and vitamin C mix. We'll put that over my whole face. There we go. Just putting a little on my finger and then just tapping it so I can get it on my eye. Like I said, I'm really concentration under my eye because as you see, my eyes are puffy. So by the time I put my foundation on, the puffiness is going to get soaked up from the vitamin C and the liquid collagen and the hydrochloric serum that I put on. You can get all these from my Amazon shop if you want. And then also right there, I just put on some Clinique Moisture Surge. If you in middle age, it's a little pricey, but it's well worth it. Your face will be fabulous. As you see, the bags has went down. Now I'm getting ready to prime my face. That was the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. I put that on the spots where it's dry. I have a combo skin. So I'm putting it on the sparks where I want it to be hydrating. So I want my face to be hydrating right there. And then right there, that is just the poreless primer. So I'm putting that on the spots where I want it to be dry. I'm putting it basically in my T-zones. You know, the nose, bridge of the nose, around the corners of the mouth, and on the forehead, above the forehead. And just patting it in real good to make sure it's absorbed in my skin. So yeah. Right there, I'm using 2 combos from MAC. It's wintertime at the time when I did this, and I have to mix 2 colors together to get my winter color. I use my summer color, which is NC50, and then I mix it with NC45, and it normally makes a nice combination. You got to be tricky when you do it. You got to be careful. But now I don't have to do all that because I have started using color pigments. So right now I'm putting on color corrector, just a little orange. I use my fingers because that way the concealer will melt in my hand and it'll easily melt in my skin. You don't want to put too much because it'll be very bright. So right now I just have the e.l.f. eye concealer brush, just tapping it in, just getting it a better seamless finish. I have my Real Technique sponge just to blend it in and make sure it's melted completely in my skin. The Real Technique sponge is a game changer when it comes to makeup. I love them. To me, they're hands down the best sponge. Juvia's Place has a nice sponge too, but it doesn't match up to me to Real Technique. Right now, I'm just go ahead blending out the the foundation that I have on my face, and yeah, just blending it out. Keep blending. You go get tired of blending, but just keep blending until you can't blend no more. And once you get tired of blending, blend again. And then you gonna say, I didn't blend enough. Blend again. Then you're gonna be like, dang, I done been blending for 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, blend again. But putting on makeup is like baking a cake. You gotta put all the ingredients in, you gotta mix them real good, and then you gotta layer it and put it in the pan. So right here I'm just putting foundation on my nose using my finger, putting it some around my mouth because sometimes I get bad smile lines. So I just went in a little deeper around the face. Then I'm just gonna work my way up to my nose. My nose so cute. I look like Rudolph in the wintertime. Like Rudolph the red nose. Oops, let me stop before I get a copyright. So normally I don't put the foundation all the way up. See how it's not going on my eyes? So I'm leaving it. So when I put the concealer, it'll go right there. But normally I put a little bit once I'm completely done. I just put 1 layer. But now I'm putting foundation on the forehead. Then I have like the e.l.f. spatula foundation brush, and it might look like it's a lot, but it's really not. That's the same pump that I used when I originally did my foundation. So it was only 1 pump of each foundation color, and I'm mixing it out. So I'm going back in and just putting a little bit underneath the eyes. So now I'm taking my Real Technique sponge and I blend, and then I get my e.l.f. buffer and I just buffed it out. I just buffed it like when you wax a car. Now I'm using my e.l.f. Cameo concealer to highlight underneath, just to give me a little pop of highlight. Then I'm gonna put it in my T-zone, the bridge of my nose, and around my mouth, around my smile lines, just so I will have some kind of color when I take pictures. And then I don't know who brush that is, but I know I bought it because I loved it. It was an eye concealer brush. And I love it. Just going down and finishing the rest of uh, blending out my concealer. Then I go in with the sponge because the sponge smooths and blends everything seamlessly. Right there, that was the same sponge I used on my foundation, but I use it also to do the concealer because it'll blend it on the sides. So that right there, oh, if you don't have one of these, you got to get you one. What's that? Chicken salad? But that's a under eye crease blender. It's the right side of your finger. You put a dab. You can blend it out, or you can use it to apply powder. I do both. So right now I'm just blending out smile lines, and then I'm gonna go to the top and blend out the sides. Right now that's Laura Mercier honey, and just putting setting the crease, the concealers, setting the liquid so that way it won't crack. Right there, that's a game changer. That's the Black Radiance Cream Contour Palette. To me, that's the hands down best palette besides Juvia's. And it's drugstore friendly. It doesn't cost that much, but it might not have it in the drugstore. So I always order mine on Amazon. So that way I know it's there. So I just take that brown, that deep shade of brown, and just uh, doing the contour on my nose. And I just take it and just dab a couple of circles above my forehead to get bring back color, depth in my forehead. Makeup is is an artistry, and I want to learn it so I can be the best makeup artist to myself. I also do family and friends makeup too, but there I'm just doing uh, contour. So you do the fish lip, you suck in your jaws and bring it down just a little, and then you go underneath to try to slim that fat little jaws. So my jawline could be chiseled. Then you just get your brush. I love Real Technique brushes. I use Real Technique brushes. I use Morphe brushes. I can't remember the other brushes I use. My friend who's a real makeup artist, she told me which ones to buy. I can't remember offhand. That's one of them right there. That's a contour brush that I use to push back into the hair. That way your hairline won't get messed up, but your contour will be blended out. Then you just go back over and smooth out the rough edges with your regular contour brush. And don't forget to get underneath the chin. Keep blending, blend to the gods, baby. And that's my Morphe nose contour brush that I'm using just to blend out the nose contour. I love a snatched nose because I got a little piggy, chunky, piggy, wiggy nose. And once I'm done with it, it look like I haven't had a nose job. My nose always is slender and it's fabulous. So now I am looking for the the brush to blend out the nose contour, and that's just the foundation brush that I use to blend all the different segments of the contour, and it blends seamlessly with the foundation, so that way everything still looks blended. So yeah, I'm looking at my forehead like I need to blend some more. You need to blend that just a little more. So here is the powder form of the Black Radiance. I'm just going over the cream because when you put a cream on, you gotta seal it with a powder, and you gotta start gentle. You can always build, but once you put on too much, it's hard to take it off. So just go very tread lightly when you're putting your contour stuff on, because you can all like I say, you can always build, but you can't take back. So I'm just doing the other side like I did on the other. So I'm just locking in that contour. So now I'm fluffing it out. Just making sure I get the bottom. So I need to go back over it again. That middle right there. When I looked at it, I was like, yeah, in the front, like, I was looking at that, like, I need to fix that. So now I'm just trying to melt everything down. Now I am probably looking for my setting spray. Oh no, I am trying to touch up my contour a little bit because I still see it needs to be blended out. So that's why I'm keep blending. Like I say, you go, makeup is a blend, 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 blend. Then you go over it again with the sponge to seal it in place. The sponge is like a secret weapon that it blends everything together. So that's why I use the same sponge. I don't change the sponge. I use it for doing all the concealers. I use it for sealing my makeup, the foundation. So right now it's the Juvia's Paste. I'm about to put a little blush on it. I love Juvia's Paste. Their colors are so pigmented and it looks so beautiful on melanated skin. So I'm just putting a little bit because, like I say, Juvia's Place. You think you putting a little, and you look out like, oh my God, I'm looking like Holly Doody. So, like I said, I'm going real light-handed because I have put makeup on and I'm looking like, what in the world, girl? You got all this on your face, but you only put a very little amount on the brush. So I'm going really, 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 really light-handed. And then I got another blush brush just to blend it out a little more because I didn't want to keep putting more product. You can't. It's hard to really blend out product when you got it on the brush. So right now I'm going back in just to give it just a little bit more color because I seen I didn't have it. So now I'm like, okay, I got my fan because now I'm about to put some highlight. I love highlighter. Like like I looked at that and I was like, that's nice, but it wasn't popping to me, you know. So like, you don't got no highlighter. If it ain't glowing, it ain't no highlight. So what I did, I went back into my favorite Radiant Black Radiance and used their highlighter. Like if it ain't glowing and showing, you don't got no highlight on. That's what I say. Like, you know how when you cooking, you be like, if you ain't sneezing, it don't got no seasoning on it. But yes, but I love Black Radiance contour palette, the cream and the powder. Like it's chef's kiss. You can use it for the eye. So now I'm taking my foundation brush and just blending out the highlight, so it won't be too, because as I say, if you ain't glowing, you don't got no highlight. So I went overboard, so I just smoothed it out. So that's my MAC Studio Finish. So that's powder. So I'm setting my face right now with that. Setting it all over my face to lock in everything. So that's just like a real technique powder brush, powder setting brush. I'm just pushing the powder into my face. Now that's the Elta foundation setting powder, loose setting powder. So I'm just gonna take a dab of it and just sprinkle it over my face. That's the color I would wear if it was foundation. So I'm just taking it and just giving a light dusting because, as you know, mature skin, you can't be using all that powder, but you gotta use the powder to lock the makeup in so that way it will not move. And now, like I say, I'm lighting. You see, it's like that's like a feather brush, and it's going on very sparingly. So right there, that's the NYX Dewy finishing spray. I just use that when I'm at home, but when I'm out and about going places, I use Morphe Up All Nighter. I use One Size finishing spray, and I use Kerrigan. But like I said, I'm at home just practicing in makeup right now, so that's just the dewy. And then I also use the Milani Make It Last setting spray. I love that. You can get all those from the drugstore, or you can get them from Ulta. But that Milani Make It Last setting spray, I use that. So I use that too when I go out, because that's chef's kiss. That's really good setting spray. So I'm just doing just the under eye, underline with the brown. I don't really like using mascara on that because I don't know, it just always smudges. So I just use eyeshadow. And that's just a regular brush. Regular brushes work too. It don't have to be Real Technique. It don't have to be Morphe, but I've learned that Real Technique and Morphe got bomb brushes. But also the brushes that be on Amazon work too. And they like $8. And they work just as good. But hey. So right now I'm just putting a little bottom lash. So I'm spraying setting spray again just to lock it in, because I am putting on makeup. I ain't put all this makeup on just to have it leave. So I got my handy dandy fan just to lock it in. And I'm trying to look for lipstick. So right there is just a normal brown shadow. Matte chestnut. I think every brown skin black girl got matte chestnut. Brown skin girl. Love matte chestnut. That go with anything. Every color. Hands down. I think the only other color that I seen that was nice like that was the Julius Pace Cola. That's a nice lip liner too. But matte chestnut is chef's kiss. I done wore that for years. And that's just some lip liner, lip gloss that I got on. Just putting it on. That's one of my friend's lip glosses that she sells. I can't remember the name of it. And I'm just going back over, just filling in the lines to make that nice transition. Blended it out a little bit. That's why you pop your lips to blend it, and then you tap it a little bit. This will blend out the line of the lip and make it a smooth transition. I hope you enjoyed this makeup look. I'm going to be posting more makeup tutorials for mature skin. Bye bye.